I sent 100 cold emails to professors trying to get a research position, and I figured out exactly what works and what doesn't. In this video, I'm going to break down step by step exactly how to send the perfect cold email to land your first research position without wasting any time. My name is Rahul, and I did 4 years of undergraduate research in 3 different labs, 2 of which I got purely by cold emailing. Now I'm a PhD student, and I read hundreds of cold emails. Some of them get tossed instantly, some of them turn into interviews. Let's make sure yours gets a response. Research is the highest ROI activity that you can do in college. It opens doors for graduate school, medical school, and the top internships. And it can help you stand out from the thousands of other students who have the same GPA as you. However, everyone who gives advice about research just tells you to email the professors, but nobody tells you how to do it. And I've been there, wondering what the hell to say to these professors. And on top of that, everyone else is sending these emails as well. So, how can you make your emails stand out? So, what I did when I sent out my emails was to go to my school's faculty directory website. So, I just searched up UC Irvine faculty directory. You can do the same for your school, and you can just click on that first link. I knew that UC Irvine was strong in biophotonics, and I was interested in lasers. So, I searched up the keywords biophotonics and laser, and that gave me a ton of results. So, I added all of these professors' names onto a list, and on top of that, I also scrolled through the names of the professors in my department. And there's something called a faculty profile system. You can just search that up for your school as well. And you can sort by your department, and there'll be a few keywords about each professor's research. So I also looked through those and added any professor whose research I thought was remotely interested. And once I compiled this list, I sent a generic email to every single one of them. Just, hi, my name is Rahul. I'm very interested about your research in blank. And I pretty much inserted those keywords. And I asked if I could join the lab. Honestly, I didn't get that many responses. I got ghosted a lot. But some professors did give me a response and they told me, thanks, but I'm not taking any students. To be honest, I think they were just being nice. Now that I've been in this position for a very long time, I've realized that the quality of your email is directly correlated to the amount of positive responses that you get. Looking back at my emails, there were a few key aspects that led to the highest responses. And the first one is the subject line. This is the first thing that the professors are going to see, so make it clear and obvious. Say something like undergraduate student interested in research, available 20 hours per week. Something like that gets straight to the point. Professors are busy, so just get straight to the point. The second thing you have to do in your emails is to make them personalized. And don't personalize it just by replacing a few keywords in every single email by using the words in the faculty profile system. Trust me, I've tried it, it doesn't work. And the reason is the keywords that are in that faculty profile system are often not what the professor is actually working on. These websites have been made when the professor probably first joined the department, and they're probably not actually working on them. And they're vague on purpose so that the professors have a little bit of freedom to work on what they want and still maintain that description in that department. Now, how do you find out what the professor is actually working on? Well, you can find it on Google Scholar. So I want you to go to scholar.google.com. You'll find a Google search bar, but it's for academics, and you can search up the professor's name. Once you do that, you'll find a list of articles, and you can sort by date published. And then you can read the first few results, which are correspond to the most recent published work from the lab. And I want you to at least read the abstract so you get a real understanding of what that lab does. Now, as a bonus, if you have taken a course that's related to this work, then I want you to mention it because that would sound very impressive. However, if you haven't, that's okay. I just want you to show genuine interest and that you actually know what the lab does. Also, this might sound obvious, but you need to include a resume in your emails. A clean, well formatted resume, regardless of the experience that's on it, shows professionalism and it gives a good impression. After all, this email is literally everything we know about you, so sending a good impression goes a long way. And finally, if you have a personal story that connects to the research that the lab does, please include it. The best emails that I've received from undergrads have a personal connection from that student's story to the lab's research, and it really sets you apart. Now let's talk about what to avoid in your emails. First, you should not be copy and pasting the same exact email to every single professor because professors talk to each other, grad students talk to each other. And if someone is sending the same email to everyone, then your email is just going to get tossed because it signals that you're not putting in the effort. And this has happened to me multiple times where I've talked to other grad students and they received the same email that I did, and we just send the email to the trash. Please make your emails personalized. Also, professors are busy, so don't waste their time by asking for an informational interview to pick their brain only to show up to the interview and just ask for a research position. Just be clear with your intentions. Don't try anything shady, and people will respect that. The next thing to avoid is bragging about yourself. Nobody wants to read about how great you are, no matter how good your resume is, because it sounds narcissistic and people don't want to work with a narcissist. And in that same vein, I don't want you to sound desperate either because we know you want the research position because you're sending this email. That already shows a little bit of initiative. But if you start sounding needy, it's a little bit of a turnoff. And then we'll wonder, why do you want it so bad? Like what's going on here? It sounds a little fishy. And finally, keep your email concise. Nobody wants to read a multi-page essay about why you want to join a research lab. A good guideline to keep in mind is to keep it within one screen on a mobile device. So this is about a maximum of 2 paragraphs, which is plenty of real estate to convey your point. Out of the 100 emails that I sent, I got a handful of interviews. And from those interviews, I got 2 research positions that changed my academic career. Now, when you do this, you won't have to send 100 emails because now you know what works and what doesn't. And I want you to remember it only takes one yes to land your dream research position. Now you know how to send a cold email that will actually convert into a research position. And if you want to skip all of the trial and error and get into research the smart way, I made a full guide called the Undergraduate Research Playbook, compiling all of my experiences from 4 years of undergraduate research and 3 years of mentoring undergraduate researchers. Honestly, it's everything I wish I had when I was starting out. It has everything from how to join a lab, how to get paid to do research, to how to convert your research experience into a grad school acceptance. If you're interested, check it out in the link in the description. And with that, I'll see you next time.